Chief Washington correspondent and host of the new one-hour Face the Nation, Bob Schieffer. He's in Miami. Bob, good morning.
Good morning to you, Charlie.
You just listened to Governor Romney. Tell me how you saw Florida and where we go from here.
Well, the first thing I would say is that Governor Romney is saying that he thought people didn't really pay attention to the negative advertising. If that's the case, then he and his
Yes,
super PAC wasted $16 million on negative advertising. I mean, they dumped a load of negative ads on Newt Gingrich, and 92% of those ads were negative. Yeah. Now, Gingrich tried to do the same thing. He ran a negative campaign, too, but he had only $4 million to spend. So I think negative advertising works as much as people say they don't like it, and I think it worked very effectively here. The other part, Charlie, is, and to give Governor Romney his due, he became a much better candidate down here, not only in the debates, but also in the way that he really carried the campaign and the fight directly to Gingrich.
And he also, Bob, as you heard, he actually told you, Charlie, when you asked him, he did feel that Newt Gingrich made him a better candidate in this race. Newt Gingrich last night laying out fairly concrete ideas. I want to take a quick listen to this and then get your take on it, Bob.
I will ask them to immediately pass the repeal of Obamacare, to immediately pass the repeal of the Dodd-Frank bill. I will ask them to pass the repeal of Sarbanes-Oxley. The very first executive order will abolish all of the White House czars as of that moment.
So, Bob, obviously his ideal agenda there. What is different, though, about what we were hearing from Newt Gingrich last night in that speech and in what he was saying as opposed to what we've heard in the last contest?
Well, it was a much different contest in South Carolina. Gingrich came out swinging there. He clearly won the debates there. Romney had a very bad time in South Carolina. A lot of it his own doing, but he hired himself a debate coach. He managed to turn these debates around. I wouldn't be surprised if Mitt Romney wouldn't agree with everything that Newt Gingrich said in that statement there. Certainly, he's talking about doing away with the president's health care plan and some of that other stuff. But, just saying I'm going to ask the Congress to do that is one thing. He'd have to have a Republican Congress to be able to do any of that. He couldn't do it by himself because, it's just not the votes to do that.
Bob, is there any reason to
right
believe
now.
that any reason to believe that Newt Gingrich can't take this all the way to the convention, as the signs behind him said, 4 down and 46 to go?
He may not get all the way to convention, but he's going to stay in it for a while, Charlie. And the reason why is when you add up the votes last night, more people voted for somebody else than voted for Mitt Romney, although this was a huge win for him. There are still a number of people out there that are not satisfied with Mitt Romney. I think it was about a third of the people that we surveyed last night said they'd just as soon see somebody else as their candidate. Romney still has to find a way to bridge this gap between the far right and the left of his party. He's going to need all of them if he's going to take on Barack Obama and win come November. This is going to be a very close race, and it's going to have to be a united party. Right now, with all this negativity, I don't think you can say that it is. There are a lot of people who think that this really hurt the Republicans when this got so nasty. But we'll see what happens as we go down the line here.
Bob, thank you very much. A very fine-looking tie there, my friend.